The Last of Us Part 2 is already upon us, and eager fans are already plowing through it full speed ahead. Despite the fanfare, however, the game has been mired in controversy from earlier this year all the way up to its release. Now, while there are definitely fans out there who love the game and what Naughty Dog has delivered, there's no doubt that there are vocal crowds expressing their displeasure for a number of reasons. Well, let's break it down. Prior to its release, The Last of Us Part 2 and its developer Naughty Dog has been in the eye of a social media storm. A number of accusations lodged against the developer studio came to light by former employees who spoke of relentless crunch time. Theme we often see in the AAA space. Ex-animator Jonathan Cooper says that he was fortunate enough to have spent a maximum of 46 hours per week, but laid witness to a number of his colleagues being pressured into putting in more hours. There were reports that this was the main reason a number of members of the Uncharted 4 development team left the company after the game was released. Crunch is a commonly used practice among big gaming studios, some more intense than others. Many of dissatisfied employees have left their posts after suffering under such working conditions, for some even killing their drive to create games. This was initially suspected as being the reason behind a portion of The Last of Us Part 2's story being leaked on YouTube earlier this year. A number of media outlets initially cited an unnamed rogue employee of Naughty Dog as the person who posted critical parts of the game's story as a means of protesting their crunch practices. This, however, has since been debunked by both Sony and Naughty Dog themselves. The official response has been that the footage was obtained by hackers, allegedly that they were able to obtain the footage by exploiting a vulnerability through a different game. Regardless of how it has been or what has happened, the potential for damaging The Last of Us Part 2's sales prospects was high. On the one hand, many fans may not have been happy with what they saw and ended up not buying the game. On the other, there are those that were already on the fence and who may have ended up content with what they saw. Naughty Dog have insisted that regardless of the amount of footage leaked, The Last of Us Part 2 is still a video game that should be experienced as such. The woes didn't end there, unfortunately. Now that the game is out in the wild, there are a number of players who have chosen to voice their displeasure in yet another familiar internet trend: Metacritic review bombing. At the moment, the game sits at a 94 aggregate review score and a 4.7 out of 10 player score. There's a lot of reason to believe that a lot of the negative player reviews are from multiple dummy accounts attempting to bring the score down. The primary reason behind this appears to be in relation to The Last of Us Part 2's protagonist, Ellie, as being a lesbian. A number of social media accounts have described the game as pandering to political correctness. There are genuinely solid reviews, however, who felt that the way the aspects of the game is being handled feels real and well executed. Dummy accounts aside, a good chunk of the negative reviews have been criticizing the game for being too violent and miserable. Players felt that after witnessing a number of characters die and go through some horrible or truly horrible situations was done to make them feel bad. Naughty Dog has been cited in past interviews as saying that the game's story would be raw. Whether they ended up going too far, however, is in the eye of the beholder. Some more player reviews have criticized the game for having plot holes caused by the game's love affair with violence and death. For some, the story decisions seem to have not been connected well to the main narrative. No matter where you stand regarding The Last of Us Part 2, one thing is certain: the game has been a commercial success so far. The main problem here is the conflicting Metacritic scores are currently confusing to those who have yet to pick up the game. The reality lies in what we mentioned earlier, that it's a game that needs to be played to get the full picture.